reasons. One of the accusers, known by the name Geronda Pace, has come out to confirm that this will be happening soon, in an Instagram post where she mentions that Chicago District Attorney Kim Foxx will soon be announcing this publicly. In her own words, Geronda says when Kim Foxx announces the dismissal of the case against R. Kelly sometime next week, it will be hard for the survivors, especially those who are waiting for their day in court. Though it is disappointing, I understand. New York did a great job getting us justice and taking these matters seriously. Nonetheless, I do thank Kim Foxx for trying, she concludes. If you have been supporting R. Kelly, whether on this YouTube channel or on any other channel that is pro R. Kelly, I am sure this is a little something for you to celebrate. It's a perfect indicator that you are doing a great job after all, and an achievement for all of us to take pride in. It looks like the prosecution has finally come back to their senses, and realized that for each legal mistake they make bearing false witness against R. Kelly, they will be counting penalty after penalty in the years to come. The prosecutors were definitely very shocked when the Chicago panel they had prepared well could not remain consistent with the lies concocted against Robert, an error that has seen one of R. Kelly's co-accused, Daryl McDavid, file for damages totaling to $850,000. After realizing they cannot bribe every other juror and that they can actually get caught, in order to avoid any further legal errors, they had no choice but to drop the greed and surrender when it comes to the remaining charges. One of the possible reasons we pointed out is a lack of credible witnesses to build a strong case against Kelly. Among the witnesses they had for the state charges was R. Kelly's former hair braider, whose case was rather too weak. It's still hard to understand how she managed to corner R. Kelly into giving her the $850,000 settlement through attorney Susan Logan's mediation, as this was all a scheme to defraud him. The good news, however, is that this will not be happening ever again, considering the hair braider is finally off R. Kelly's radar. She has been waiting for an opportunity to strike again, and hopefully get more money and restitutions to meet her pressing financial needs after she lost the house she was purchasing in a bank foreclosure. It looks like she will need to go find a job and work hard after all, other than focus on R. Kelly's bank account like she did in the past. As for Geronda Pace, it's hard to understand why her win against R. Kelly in New York was not enough for her. She simply wanted more. This is rather absurd, considering there is image evidence all over the internet showing her stalk R. Kelly unattended like an adult woman right outside the courtroom back in 2002, only to return later with false claims against him. R. Kelly surely does deserve a break from some of these women, and the clearly intimidated prosecution has provided just that. If these women thought that the prosecution's call for R. Kelly's imprisonment was all about them, I hope this move opens their eyes to realize that the government does serve a master they do not know. Denying them an opportunity to be heard was a move to protect their own image at the expense of the claimants. It's therefore all about the government and their masters, and certainly not the women. Considering the trend of events after New York has dramatically changed to reveal a brand new picture of who R. Kelly truly is, turning out he isn't actually the very bad person the government had attempted to portray, it causes us to question what went wrong in New York to end up with an all-guilty verdict. Some R. Kelly supporters still wonder what was so different in New York that caused an all-guilty for 10 counts verdict. A verdict that is completely inconsistent with the new trend of things. While we can choose to blame it all on the incompetent legal team R. Kelly had, it was also the role of the New York federal judge Anne Marie Donnelly to detect this, or at least to consider the post-trial motion submitted by attorney Jennifer Bonjean, who did a great job enlightening the court on what actually went wrong. The fact that R. Kelly lacked effective legal counsel was eminent enough to compel Judge Donnelly to grant a retrial, but she adamantly refused. It's only in New York, and under the watch of Judge Anne Donnelly, that the prosecution was able to get away with a landslide win, despite presenting no real evidence along with not-so-credible witnesses accusing the R&B king. Anne Donnelly surely does owe us an explanation on this. Dropping the Chicago charges means the prosecution knows well they were going to lose, and to lose so badly. By doing this, the government has conceded defeat, and owes R. Kelly compensation for wasting his time and legal fees in this regard. According to Miranda, this is still a rumor but yet to be confirmed when Kim Foxx eventually makes the announcement sometime next week. For now, I am not sure if we should believe anything coming from infamous accuser Geronda Pace, who had the audacity to lie about her age to attend a party at R. Kelly's house, and later used this against him for selfish reasons. It is also known that she did have a boyfriend in the R. Kelly mansion who helped her take pictures in Robert's bedroom that placed her in the house. Pictures she later used against the R&B king. It was also revealed that she shared her settlement money, also negotiated by settlement factory attorney Susan Loggins, with her real boyfriend Boober for the role he played in framing R. Kelly. In any case though, this was expected and was long overdue. The prosecution cannot take another stain on their way of doing things, as was seen at the Chicago trial, where one Lisa Van Allen almost chickened out refusing to testify, until she was dragged to court by the feds. According to Tanya Harper, these people never had any real evidence against R. Kelly. They say they had DNA, but that doesn't prove a cult, a racket, or even trafficking, yet these are the charges he was found guilty for. Since when did DNA become evidence to prove an enterprise? Also important to note, no one among the accusers called the police. We have seen 5-year-olds call the cops when distressed and in cases of emergencies, so really, for women who claim to have been 17 not to have the wisdom to call the police if they felt abused, it's hard to believe. Worse still, they did not do this even way into adulthood. Many managed to remain with R. Kelly until they were way above 25 years old. Can we assume even then they did not know how to call 911? All these people came with to trial was word of mouth and nothing more than that. How they managed to secure an all-guilty verdict with this kind of BS. It's hard to explain. It makes me realize there is so much power in the tongue. If words alone manage to convince Judge Ann Donnelly beyond the possibility of changing her mind, they surely must be powerful. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahmnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN